The following days passed in agony. Sophia was completely numbed to life as she knew it. She could not eat nor sleep. She had to talk to him before his departure. She needed to tell him how she felt. Finally, after endless days and nights of agonizing, she wrote to him of her confused, strange, and familiar feelings towards him. He never answered, and soon after she heard from a tearful Nadia that he was gone. Sophia's wedding day was coming closer, and melancholy was beyond return. Her family, aware of her change of heart, had decided that it was due to nerves. Sergei was completely oblivious to Sophia's turmoil and went about his partying and celebrating with his usual air of gallantry. But her grandmamma, who had more time to ponder and observe, came to Sophia's room one night and sat down on the bed beside her. She took her hand. If it had been any other girl, grandmamma would have let everything well alone. However, Sophia was different. She had a unique talent to see the world with a completely different eye, and with pen write the most authentic and beautiful verse possible. She would never be happy married to a man like Sergei. Sophia had been born with wings, and she, her grandmamma, had a duty to see her happy before she moved on to the next life. Sophia, my sweet. Yes, grandmamma. Go after him. Sophia looked shocked. But grandmamma, how do you know? I know a lot about affairs of the heart, and I know who he is. I saw your face when Nadia came crying to you. You are my blood, and so like me. Siberia is far, and the journey will be hard, but I also know from experience that if you don't go after him, you will always regret it and dream of how life could have been. But I don't know how he feels. I could be imagining everything, grandmamma. There is only one way to find out, was the reply from the wise, dear woman. Trust your heart, my darling. Sophia wrote a letter to Sergei. It was not as difficult a letter to write as one might imagine. Sophia knew deep in her heart that his love for her was not undying, and in time he would find a more worthy partner. Leaving her parents without a word was more distressing. Her mother would definitely need smelling salts, and her father's rage was something Sophia dare not even contemplate. However, her grandmamma assured her that if this felt right in her soul, then she was embarking on her true path, and no harm could possibly come of something so pure. Grandmamma gave her a wooden trunk, which Sophia packed with all her possessions. It was decided that Anya, her maid, and Sasha, the family coachman, would accompany her on her trip. They were both loyal to Sophia and her family. Grandmamma gave them strict instructions to guard Sophia with their lives. She gave Sasha plenty of money for provisions, and Sophia plenty to use at her own discretion. Sasha was ordered to write reports home regularly. He was a mysterious character. His father had also been one of the family servants. He had taken great care in the education of his son. Yes, surprising as it may seem, Sasha was no ordinary coachman. Anya had been with Sophia most of her life. She loved Sophia and would do anything for her. Sophia's trunk was put on a carriage with a case holding food and a tea service with napkins. She hugged her dear grandmamma before getting in the carriage. Anya sat beside her and Sasha up front. That is how Sophia left all that was loved and familiar in the dead of night.